Join me as I fly from Sydney to Tokyo Haneda and then onwards to New York City, specifically JFK Airport, taking just over 27 hours. I'm at the airport and I'm ready to fly. Today we're going to be flying on ANA for the next 27 hours. So we're airside right now and let's go to the Air New Zealand lounge and let's fly. Let's go together. So ANA is a Star Alliance carrier, and so we have access to the Air New Zealand lounge. We're going to head up there now and check it out. Upon entering the lounge, we were met with a buffet selection offering breakfast items, given that it was still morning in Sydney. And I gotta say, there was lots to choose from, and you certainly wouldn't go hungry. There was also a separate drink selection, as well as an extensive bar. However, the real highlight for me was seeing all of the action outside on the airport tarmac. This was an AvGig favourite. And with that, it's time to fly. Let's go to the gate. First stop, Tokyo. On the way to the gate, I could spot our aircraft for today's flight, an 8-year-old Boeing 787-9. We walked down the jet bridge and on board and turned left into the business class cabin, which was laid out in a 1-2-1 configuration. And here is my business class seat, 3 Alpha, on the left-hand side of the aircraft. Upon boarding, each passenger was provided with headphones, an amenity kit, a blanket, a pillow, a pair of slippers, and a mattress topper. Alright, so I just got into my seat and we're now on board the 787. So I'm in seat 3 Alpha here. So the 787 features the slightly older business class, which I will review once we're up in the air. So yeah. Cheers. Here's to one sensational flight. That's good. We then taxied out to the runway and started our 9-hour journey to Tokyo. Once the seatbelt sign was extinguished, I took off my shoes and put on the provided ANA slippers. With that, it's time to go over the seat features. To your right, there are seat controls, as well as a tray table right below, which folds out with a touch of a button. It is large and sturdy and is a good workspace and a good dining space, which is soon to be some impressive catering from A&A. Then moving on, as we stow the tray table away, to your right, there is a hook to stow your headphones, as well as a seat pocket containing a safety card and an in-flight magazine. Then there's a headphone jack, universal power points, and an individual reading light, and an IFE remote control. Then right in front, there's a coat hook, as well as the in-flight entertainment screen, which I'll show you later on in the flight. Then right below is an ottoman, and a place below to store your shoes. The headphones they provided were decent, but not really the best quality for keeping the aircraft noise out. So I would recommend bringing your own noise-cancelling headphones like I did. They made such a big difference. Then, service started with a refreshing towel, and while I refreshened up with this, I then took a look at the in-flight menus for today's flight. Japanese is my favorite cuisine of all time, and of course I had to go for the Japanese option. I love Japanese food. So here are the menus for today's flight, so feel free to skip ahead. If you're a foodie, you might want to stay behind and watch this. Soon, the flight attendant neatly prepared my tray table with crisp white linen, and then an amuse-bouche of a beef bresaola roll with sour cream, cashews and cherry tomatoes was served, and it was really tasty. It's here where A&A really delivered with their catering. Everything was all served on one tray, and everything tasted so good. There's a reason why Japanese is my favorite cuisine. But it was the main course that really delivered. The soy braised eel was perfectly cooked, and served with steamed rice, miso soup, and pickled Japanese vegetables, which were a highlight. And then, it was a chocolate mousse to finish, which really hit the spot. After lunch, I decided to convert my seat into a fully flat bed to test it out, and it was pretty comfortable. I then put on the mattress topper and a blanket and a pillow and nodded off. Okay, let's try out this bed. It's pretty comfortable. There's about that much of my head, and the footwell is quite good. Yeah, I'm just gonna close my eyes for a bit because I didn't get that much sleep last night. And after this, I'll just hang around, I guess. So yeah, good night. I mean, I'll just have a little nap. After having a little rest, I was getting a little bit more peckish again, even though I just had a tasty lunch. So I grabbed the menu again and browsed through the Dine Anytime menu. There was lots to choose from. This was a menu that you could eat anything whenever you wanted after the first meal service. And there was lots to choose from. So with my order placed, I sat back up again and then placed my order. As we were nearing towards Tokyo, my table was set, and I was then served a bowl of corn soup, which I had to try for research purposes, and a bowl of rice and teriyaki chicken meatballs. The meatballs and the rice were cooked to perfection, and the corn soup was delicious as well. After I finished eating, I relaxed and enjoyed several podcasts while looking out the window as the sky got darker as we came further north to Tokyo. And then about 90 minutes before landing, a second meal service was served. Again, I had to go Japanese, and once again I was impressed with the overall meal presentations, and everything tasted as good as it looked. After the next meal service, I also took an opportunity to do a quick loo review on the ANA 787. Soon, I got my shoes back on as we prepared for our descent into Tokyo's Haneda Airport. Apologies for the poor quality arrival footage. ANA keep their cabin fully lit during takeoff and landing. So, yeah, there's nothing we can do about it right here. So this was the best that I could do. Alright, first leg done. That was magnificent. Arigatou gozaimashita. Now that was one sensational flight. Alright, first hop done. Okay, so now we just arrived at the ANA lounge. Let's go in and have a relax and then let's go. Japanese curry. Alright, so we're currently in the ANA business lounge. I don't want to film much because I don't like filming other people, but I can, however, film the shower room, which I'm about to have a shower. So there's a Japanese toilet, of course, and the shower. Ooh, premium enemies, how to use that. Alright, I can't talk because I gotta be quick because our flight leaves. We head to the gate at 10:55, so yeah, I can't be too long. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later when I'm out of the shower. Peace. Okay, now that feels a lot better. Now we have about just under an hour, a little bit over 50 minutes until we go to the gate. So I'm gonna skip the first meal service on board and just go straight to sleep because I'm really exhausted. So yeah, see you when it's time to fly. Okay, at long last, it is now time to fly again. Let's go. So this next flight that we're gonna go on is on ANA's flagship 777 in their brand new business class. And this business class is called The Room. And we'll see why in a minute. So let's head to gate 73 and I'll show you. Our 6-year-old Boeing 777-300ER was waiting for us at the gate. Soon, we were on board the 777 and I was shown into their fancy room business class, also laid out in a 1-2-1 configuration. And my seat was 6J on the right hand side of the aircraft. Alright, so I just got in my seat and look how wide this is. There's a reason why ANA calls this the room. So I haven't been on a 777 since I went to Canada in 2016. So it's been quite some time, and it feels so good to be back on board at 777 for the first time in 9 years now. So yeah, been quite some time. So once we're up in the air, I'm gonna skip the first meal service because I just want to go straight to bed. So once we're up in the air, I'm gonna change into my PJs. After the seat feature video began to play, we then pushed back and then took off and into the skies over Tokyo and started our 14-hour journey to New York. Let's see how the 777 bathroom compares to the 787 business class bathroom. So, full length mirror, well, almost. Change table, which I didn't see on the previous flight. Amenities. Some hand soap. And the Japanese toilet, of course. And there's also a dressing step which comes down as so. I'll just have to figure that out. Yeah. What is that? Down in my seat. Okay, I've hit the wall now, so I'll see you guys. The bed was very comfortable, and this was easily the best I've ever slept on a plane before. Without a doubt. I'm not joking. So the cabin is just waking up and it's nearly time for the second meal service before we make our final descent into New York. So yeah, let's see what they got. With that, I ordered a personal favourite, sweet and sour pork. And of course I closed my doors as the room has a private door feature. And I gotta say, the pork was really tasty and it certainly felt good eating in my own private cocoon. And at long last, here are some of the seat features. Soon, we started our descent into New York City. And I have to say, this was my first flight on board ANA, and having to experience 2 aircraft on 2 different types of business class was something I'll never forget. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and please subscribe to my channel to help us grow. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Now this is the first class cabin. Yeah, fast class.
The seats are smaller than
Yeah.